What's up, brothers? Hope everybody's doing well out there. Every now and then the weather just lines up perfectly, and I just can't resist. I have to turn the camera on and come out here and shoot the shit with you guys. And this evening is one of those evenings. Anyways, in tonight's video, I wanted to talk about, I guess we'll call it an advantage that shy guys have that they don't realize they have. And I wanted to make this video because typically when you call a guy shy, or if a woman calls a man shy, it's usually not a compliment. It's received as an insult. I don't think men really are proud of being shy. But realistically, I would say, if I had to take a wild guess, I'd say about 75% of men fall in the shy guy category, and only 25% of men are really out there, marching in the front, type A personalities out there, getting after it, go-getters. So, I figured this would be an important enough video. And I myself, I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. On certain days, I'm extremely talkative, I'm extremely social, I'm all over the place. I'm assertive, I'm aggressive. And other days, I just kind of want to fly under the radar. I don't want to get noticed. I just want to be in and out. I don't want to have to talk to anybody. It may sound kind of odd because I talk to you guys all the time, but this is different. In my personal life, it changes, depending on my mood. And one thing I will say, typically the advice that you hear in the manosphere is geared towards getting you laid. And getting you laid as much as possible, I should say. So typically what you'll hear from a manosphere content creator, a pickup artist, or a dating coach when they're referencing shy guys is they'll say, well, you need to get over it. You need to get out there and approach as many women as possible. Approach 20 women per day. Get over it. And I got to be honest with you. I don't know if that's the greatest idea. Personally, I don't think it is, but here's the thing. It depends on what you want. What do you want? Is your goal to get laid as much as possible by as many women as possible? Or is your goal to have a girlfriend, to have a relationship, to have something a little deeper, long term? What's your goal? And the dating coaches and the pickup artists definitely get it right if your goal is to get laid as much as possible. If you want to get laid a lot, you have to put yourself out there. You have to go where the women are at. They're in the clubs. They're at the parties. You got to put yourself in these situations and approach women and talk to them. And, sure, if you're out there doing that, you're going to find yourself in the right place at the right time pretty frequently, just by going out there and doing that. But if that's not in your personality to do, you're not the kind of man that wants to go to the clubs and just hook up with random drunk chicks, then, that's probably not the move for you. There's no point in changing your whole personality, changing who you are to suit a world that, doesn't provide what it is you want. No, find a different pathway. Here's the advantage. I know it always takes me a long time to get to the advantage, but I like to cover all the grounds before we get there. So, me personally, I wouldn't really consider myself a shy guy, but as I said, some days you would probably think I was shy. I'm trying to fly under the radar. I'm not really saying much. I'm off doing my own thing. And I can say 100%. Typically, the women who have had, let's say, deeper connections to me, the women that have, really, really wanted me bad, and I would even say sometimes gotten obsessed with me. It's always, how do I word this? There's always been a certain formula that I wouldn't say that I've used. It just kind of happens naturally. But the formula is, we kind of bump into each other, we talk a little bit, and, I haven't quite warmed up to her yet. I don't know how to describe it. You know how sometimes you meet somebody and you click and it's like, boom, instant, deep conversations. But then you have other people where it's like, it might take me a little while to warm up to this person. So all of a sudden she's, talking to me more. It seems like she's putting effort into trying to figure me out and get to know me. And it may come off as if I'm shy, but at the same time I find her attractive, so maybe I'm smiling at her, or maybe I'm looking at her like I think she's pretty, but I'm not super talkative. And as several weeks go on, she's slowly becoming more and more invested in me, and then she wants a long-term relationship. It's kind of odd. I don't know if I worded that correctly. Sometimes you think of it in your head, but then when you try to say it, it doesn't come out right. But, it's as if she knows I'm attracted to her, but at the same time, I'm not, I don't know, I just haven't warmed up to her to a point where I'm really trying to make something happen. You know what I mean? And, yeah, I don't know. It just kind of has this effect where it's almost as if I'm being a man and she has this opportunity to be like this, have this schoolgirl crush on me, right? And spend this time trying to figure me out. It's weird. I don't know. It's strange. I hope that makes sense to you. But, if I look back in my life and, the women that have really been super into me, on a deeper level, seems like that's the way it's always happened. I'm just doing my own thing, and I'm not really warmed up to her to a point where, I even want to tell her anything about myself. I'm not texting her first. I'm not calling her first. But, she's putting effort into it. And, I think that's the effect that shy guys can have. A lot of women, put it like this, men have, we talk about men having personality types, alpha and beta, type A personality, type B personality, which means the type A's are, in the front, charging, they're aggressive. The type B's, they kind of fall back a little bit. Women have personalities too, and some women are type A's. Those are the women that are in the clubs, and they want to be approached by the dominant alphas, and they want to hook up and they want to have sex. They're heavily involved in the hookup culture and all that. But there's a lot of women that are, a little more on the dorky side, you could say, or maybe not even dorky, I don't know. I perceive it as kind of more feminine, like they're maybe a little more traditional or whatever. But these are the type of women that a lot of times that, alpha, that buff alpha Chad is a little bit too much for her, and a guy that is a little bit more shy, reserved, maybe kind of nerdy, something like that, that's going to be the guy she's going to go for. And I'm sure a lot of guys out there will say that's cope, but it's not. It's not cope. You see it everywhere you go. Guarantee you, you go to the coffee shop tomorrow morning, you're going to see some nerdy dude with a hot girlfriend. The thing is, his hot girlfriend's a nerd too, and they're just good for each other, right? And it's, I don't know how else to put it, but when I'm out there, exuding my type A personality side, approaching women, talking to women, being aggressive, I do get laid a lot more. Like throughout my lifetime, that's the way it's worked. Like if I'm in, a mood of going on a rampage and hooking up with as many women as possible, that's how I'm going to go about it. But, on the other hand, I think being that dominant Casanova is kind of a turnoff to women who want something serious. It is what it is. But that's just my personal experience. And, personally, if someone were to ask me, if a shy guy were to say, hey man, what should I do? I think this girl likes me. She's always talking to me, and, she seems interested, but I'm a little bit shy. I don't know what to do. I would say just keep doing what you're doing. She's reaching out. She's trying to talk to you. Let her do it. The formula that's being created there, I would say, is a formula where she gets to be like curious, with a schoolgirl crush, and you're a man, she's just a girl with a crush on a guy, right? Now, she's a woman, but you get what I'm saying. And, they like to do that. I think women really like to do that. They start to invest in you a little bit, and the more they invest, the more they want to be with you. That's not uncommon. Again, I'm probably not wording this very well, but hopefully my point got across. But if a lady has a crush on you, and you're sort of holding back a little bit, you're not quite all in. Like, she knows you're attracted to her. She knows by the way you look at her and the way you smile and all that shit that you're attracted to her. And you're interested, but you're holding back. That's naturally going to put a woman in that chaser position. And we all know the chaser is the one that's developing most of the feelings, right? When you're chasing somebody, you're thinking about them all the time, and you're really trying to make something happen. That's what builds that tension up. So think about that. But hey guys, I don't really see a reason to keep rambling, so I guess I'll go ahead and shut this one off. But I hope this video was somewhat informative, and that's about it for tonight, guys. Until next time, see ya.